Hello.
Hello.
The delay on my phone. So I think we're live. Are you ready for this? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. And may I introduce to you, if you don't know who she is, Miss Giselle, also known as Madwitch. We've missed you for a while when you took a little hiatus off of social media.
Yeah, typical hermit.
Right. I am too usually. So this whole new thing about having a channel has really brought me out of that hermit phase. And I used to be so shy and hush, and now I'm just like.
I think it's a lovely platform for people to kind of mix and share interests. So I'm delighted to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
I am just so excited about this.
Thank you. I am too.
Yes. So if I may say, Giselle, you identify as an earth witch?
Yes, predominantly earth, green witch, eclectic, solitary witch who predominantly has her head stuck. I've literally just got these dreads done, and my gorgeous friend Hannah has just done them for me. So she's literally just leaving. She's been here for 10 hours.
Hi, Hannah.
She's just going. But yeah, I've normally got my head stuck in a bramble bush and my legs out. And anyone who knows my channel or knows my old Instagram will know that that's, mostly where you'll find me is usually in the woods predominantly.
I just adore those videos you do. I love natural videos where people aren't pre-scripted and you go out into the wilderness, and I love watching you gather herbs and flowers, and it's just for me, and it can't be just for me. It's such a we're solitary with you, and it's such a it's like you take us there, and I feel like I am there, and I could look around at all this beautiful Mother Earth creation, and I love that.
I've just seen Jackie's comment. The problem I've got, Jackie, is that in the UK it's dark, and the light, although we've got all the lights on, it's a bit like I was relieved actually to see Simon on the Hermit's Cave, and he was kind of a bit pixelated. When it gets really dark without professional lighting, unfortunately this is probably as good as it gets, but you don't need to see me, honestly. There's nothing exciting apart from my dreads. I'm really, but I'm as close to the screen I think as I can get. So you are backlit, Giselle, cannot see your face, but can see your dress. I'm backlit.
That's the most important thing. That's what we've done all day.
Does that? Oh, look, here we go. Mate, is that a bit better, guys?
Oh, if you
are you
can
happy
go
with that?
just a little bit more, that'd be perfect.
Oh, look, I'm a bit lighter. Look, shuffling.
Yeah.
There. Is that okay? You can see my face.
We can see you better. Oh, I love it.
Is that all right?
I want to have them done.
Well, do you know what? All I can say is I think women of my age are the right people to get it done. As you get older, just go for it, and don't. I mean, I'm not very experienced with hair, but I would say, coming back to your other point about the natural videos. When I first started, it was very much about tarot for me, and then I evolved, and as I evolved, what I found was I was loving nature and like a child. And one of the videos that I laugh about, because Candy from Candy Soul and Soil put it in one of her big, I don't know, she molded them all together. And there's this bit of me. I literally was walking over the field. I had my hat on and everything, and it literally just started to snow. And it was just literally, I was there in the moment, and there was sleet and snow, and I was just laughing because I was videoing it, and she captured. I caught that, put it up, and and she memorized it in her
I love it.
But yes, thank you, Jackie. I have been putting some stuff up on my channel.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. So okay, can you bring us into just a little bit of a day in the Madwitch? What do you do with after you've picked? Okay, so after you've picked your herbs and flowers, what do you do? I just love this part because I want to learn too.
I kind of, the journey's been really fast, and I think a lot of older witches will recognize that, because there's a lot of hibernation, people coming out of hibernation, and so the journey in the witchcraft, in the path for me, was really fast, and I kind of, it was like I was on a bit of a warp speed. It was a bit, crazy. So my rituals, my routines really didn't get started until I kind of had chance. When you plant your garden, you've got to give it time to bed down.
Sure.
And I think this was what was happening in me. So this last year, I haven't been working for nearly 2 years, and I've been evolving, and I've been finding myself. And so a day now is very much more structured than it was maybe 2 or 3. Trying to incorporate tarot, or like sewing's a big part of my craft now, which has again evolved. So the days tend to be on it. So in the middle of sort of autumn or summer, I'll be sewing in the morning. I'll be doing my cards. I get up in the morning. I will stir my intentions into my coffee, because who doesn't do that?
Right.
You've got to, haven't you? You've got to do the stirring
You
of your.
spoke to my cup of tea this morning, and I'm like, with every sip I take, may healing go where I need it most. And I can.
Oh, that's a nice one. I don't use that one. I'd love to use that one. I liked the one from Jen. I found a fox, where she says, blessed be the witch in me, blessed be, for she is free. Holy goddess, walk with me, and may my day be filled with blessings. Loved that. Loved it. So I and I
have you type that to me one day so I can.
I will happily share that. Them done when I was 55, and now you're 68. Oh wow, that's amazing.
Love it.
Well, you love it. Another a lady with locks.
Right.
So my day would start with my intentions, and it does have tarot. I'm hugely back into my tarot, which I'm loving. Yes. And then I'll do some sewing, and then in the afternoon I go in the garden, and sometimes I don't want to. Sometimes I'm so busy sewing or whatever, and I have to push myself to go. And then when I'm out there, it's like,
blessed be.
Yeah, everything just drains away.
That's awesome.
And so that's how my days are. And other days, like the other day, I was stirring my pot of walnut husks to make ink. So doing crazy stuff. And Ellie and anybody else I've missed, I'm really sorry, because I'm trying to watch the chat, but I need to focus on what you're saying.
I know I'm being a bad host. It's just we should say hi.
You're not a bad host, Ginger. You're not at all. It's lovely to because I suppose I did go away. I thought I was just being really bad and antisocial. And then I found out that actually I wasn't the only one who went away. There were others. You've frozen on me. Have I got, is it me or is it you? I seem to be moving. Are you, but you've frozen on me. I'm hoping it's not, is it me? Can anybody hear or see me?
I can see you, can hear you. We're both going in and out. Yeah.
There you are. You're back. I didn't freeze, but I noticed you did. I don't know if it's my internet is a bit, choppy. Sorry.
It's a going.
Ginger's frozen. Okay. I can hear you.
I'm frozen too.
Hopefully I can get a drink. Well, I can't tell. There you are. No, you froze again. Do you want me to keep talking? Watching my TV, won't be able to type. So can everybody hear me? And if so, could somebody, Ellie, could you let me know?
Yeah, all right.
Oh no, whoa, it's just me now. Look at look, 10 hours. My only fear for anyone who's interested is that I've got to do the crochet, but you're back. What are you drinking?
Like I said, it's a retro. Well, I know I should have gotten something stronger too. I just have
cheers. What time is it there, Ginger?
Everyone, it is 3:11. 3:11.
Well, obviously it's gone 8 o'clock for us. So yeah, I love my path. I love my witchcraft. I love my tarot. I'm so grateful to this community for the amazing support that you get. Hi Jackie. Hi. I'm sorry. I'm still catching back up. People I don't know.
Yeah. So we're gonna say hi to people and then continue on with that lovely story. So Jackie, she's my moderator here, and Scott came in too. Nancy's here. So okay, we got some people coming in. Let's say hi. Marcia Green, whom I just met today, and it's lovely to see you here. I appreciate you coming. And then we have, bear with, because I'm new with this.
You're doing amazingly. You're better than me. I never managed to do that. All these little bits. So I'm really impressed.
Yeah. So Silver 11 again. I just met today on Scott's Live and did some readings, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you. And then we have Carla from Carla Astrology. Carla, meet Giselle. Giselle, meet Carla.
Hi.
Okay, who else has come today? We have
Ellie, my little mate Ellie. Bless her, she's in there. I was just seeing her.
Is she?
She's there. Ellie's there. Ellie, I thought you had a course. I hope you're not skiving your course just to be with me.
Right?
She was there, but she might have gone now. Hello to anyone. I'm sorry if I don't know everyone. I don't know. You've frozen again, Ginger, but I'm still here.
Well,
they are. There's Ellie.
Okay.
Because we're at the coast. It's raining cats and dogs now. But I was worried about my internet because it has been so bad. But I think, unless somebody tells me, am I still? I've got Ginger frozen. Is everybody else able to see her? You are getting to know. Okay, so yeah, my channel. I haven't been putting up a lot of stuff lately. I'm back again.
Keep trying.
You're back. I was going to wing it, Ginger. Don't worry, I got you back.
You've been worried about you not being able to come through, and here I'm having all the difficulties.
I'd rather it was you than me. I'm sorry, I'm not good at technology.
Ellie. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you being here.
Yes.
And we have, Kiba, who is Marsha's daughter. Thank you guys for your support. I appreciate it. And bear with us through this retrograde. This is the last day of retrograde, and we're trying to barrel through it.
And it's the 1st of October.
Oh, so this is kicking off my favorite month, which is a season for me and not just a month. And I know many of you agree with that. So hello and welcome to all who's in the chat.
I brought my other deck out,
appreciate you
Ginger.
being here.
I brought my favorite.
Ooh, I just saw that and I heard it's out of print.
Oh, I didn't know that it was. I thought it was that it was still around, but maybe I got this in Glastonbury secondhand years ago.
Did you? Wonderful.
Yeah, I did. Loving the backs.
Oh yes, yes. I was watching somebody's Halloween decks and
learning. It was me. I put mine up. I put mine up today.
Yes, I do have a ghost in the house. Maybe they're playing with me. So Halloween is my favorite season, and I call it a season because it's just not October for me. I'm behind on decorating. I usually start late August. I mean, yeah, I wish. Late September. And last year I didn't take my decorations down until the day before Thanksgiving.
Why did you take them down at all?
Well, I have a son with autism and he's very regimented. It's time for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's fair. No, that's fair enough. I get
October 31st, it's like, when are you going to take them down? When are you going to take them down? When are you going to take them down? So then you got to get ready for Christmas the day after Thanksgiving. So
I think Darcy, one of the who you might know, I think she's I can never remember names, moon goddess. She has like a Christmas tree constantly in her conservatory that she just decorates for the season, whatever season it is. Yeah, I thought it was quite a good idea. I quite fancy doing that myself, actually.
Okay. Marcia, I do have some spirits in my home, and I don't think Jackie saw, but she was just joking, blaming my freezing internet. But I do have spirits in my home. Do you have spirits in your home, Giselle? Do you know of?
Our house is a very old listed cottage. It's part of the history of the Empress Eugenie and Napoleon III. And we have had and do get passers-by, but they kind of meet me and they disappear, they go. It's a bit like The Simpsons. They don't hang around with me. And if I'm not happy with them, I say, go up there, go off, you find somewhere else to go. So they don't like me. I think I scare them.
No,
I think I do. But that's, I mean,
maybe you just startle them because they don't realize that you've noticed them.
I talk to them. I talk to my house. My house has its own personality because it's old. So I always talk to my house. When I come back from being away, because we're away at the moment, we're down the coast, and I come home and I'm, hi house, are you okay? Have you missed me? And it has its own little personality.
Yeah, I love it. And I've seen video and pic. Your cottage favorite window ever. I just love cottages. I love that whole atmosphere, and I wish I could live in a cottage myself.
It's got some of the leaded windows are so old that they're bowed.
Oh,
the glass is actually bowed, which is very quaint, but it's absolutely rubbish for cleaning. So I don't clean them.
Imagine even glass.
Yeah, it's
fluid. So knock it off.
Don't send them over to me.
Stop messing with my internet.
Bless you.
Okay, so what we're here today for is, marking October. Now, Samhain doesn't actually start October 1st, even though that's the season for me. That's correct.
I know, right? we're all ahead of the game here, aren't we?
Yeah. Now, in most in some religions it's October 31st, but I read that Samhain is actually the first full moon.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So that's when that is marked.
That's an
I am
interesting
just
point,
now
actually.
learning about the Samhain energies, the Mabon and all that. And so I'm in bulk. I want to start learning all that because it's so fascinating for me.
And yet I kind of don't, I've come away from following the Sabbats a little bit because not, it's really hard to disengage once you've engaged with them. But I think I like the seasons, so I kind of work with the seasons. And I've actually heard what you're saying does often relate also to some of the Sabbats. They tend to go with the full moon rather than it being a specific. What was that? You are supposed to clean your windows? Question mark.
Oh, to clean your windows? I'm with Scott there. I got to clean my windows. But I hear it's bad feng shui not to have clean windows. So I got to get busy.
I do you know, a clean witch I know is a good practice. I have a lot of cobwebs, and I don't like big fat black spiders, and we have lots of little harvest spiders, and they eat the big spiders. So I let them have their little webs.
Right.
The way I'm thinking.
Okay, that'll be a good segue into superstition. So I used to be deathly afraid of spiders, and if I got a spider web, it's the ninja in me that comes out. But I've grown to see these beautiful webs and watching the spider. I'm okay with them outside. Don't come in my house.
Yeah,
the
completely
beauty
agree.
in the mastery of web making is just incredible.
Yeah.
And then if any,
but they're different, aren't they? They're different spiders outside. The ones that do all those pretty webs are, and they only come out at harvest time, I think. Hello, Jonathan. Nice to see you, sweetie.
Oh, where is he?
He's there somewhere. Yeah, you are. Can't hide. Nice to see you, sweetheart. How's Betsy, by the way? I don't know. I haven't seen her for a while, but I love that when they're outside and the frost gets the web, and they just, it's the most magical thing in the world.
It is magical. It is.
And that's when you'll find me trucking myself over in my wellies, and I'll be out there going, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, look. I'm terrible. I went out getting
now inside. I don't buy.
I lost you again. So I was collecting horse chestnut husks, and there was this little tiny moth stuck on the inside in the water of one of them, and I spent half an hour gently coaxing it out with a stick, and it flew away. So I was very proud of myself. I'm just talking because I think Ginger's frozen again. So excuse my waffle. I'm just standing in until our beautiful lady comes back. Ginger, where have you gone, my lovely? Have they carried you away and left me? Is it frozen on Ginger's side for everybody, or is it just me? Because I can't tell. Can anyone? Oh, I'm back again. Ginger, all I can say is I'm really sorry if it's just me jinxing your lovely lives. If you've not had this problem before, I'm so sorry.
It's not you.
You're back. Thanks, Scott. No, she's still frozen.
Afternoon.
You're there.
So
does this happen often for you?
It again.
Are you okay, Ginger? Does this happen
so
to you?
From spiders to are you?
I'm good.
You're frozen, but I heard you a second ago.
Okay. I don't know. I'm here.
So I'm going to be talking about some superstitions today. The Ethernet. Okay, can anybody hear me though? Am I here?
I can hear you, and you're moving now. And then you froze a little bit. Poor Ginger. My heart, I know what this is like. It's so hard. But I'm here. So hopefully she's going to come back. Can everybody? Oh, no,
we just need everybody to. Well, I was a third person there for a second. That's funny. Oh, so all right, everybody, give us your energy to those internet.
So
vibrations and keep us going here.
I'm here. I'm okay at the moment. Fingers crossed. I'm okay at the moment. So okay, Ginger, throw me a question just
earlier today. We'll keep rolling with it. Mm-hmm. All right, in the chat. Yeah, it's those trolls. Yeah. Okay, so superstitions. We were talking about superstitions the other day, and their the roots and where they come from. Can you tell me some of the ones that you grew up with?
Oh, superstitions I grew up with. My mother was very superstitious. She was a lapsed Catholic, but they were French Flemish in origin, and I suspect that a lot of the spookiness came from her side, to be fair. The one I was saying, funny enough, I was talking about this earlier. I can't remember specifics as a child, other than the one thing my
demons be gone
said to me was never touch a Ouija board. That's what she said to me. So I have genuinely never touched a Ouija board, but
okay, can you revisit the Ouija board thing, because you went too many phone wires in my house. Yes, you did. You were talking about Ouija board.
My mother said, "Don't ever touch a Ouija." I don't know. It was the most random thing ever. I can only assume that it was a time when the board game came out, and I don't know where. I must have been quite small, and I just remember my mother saying to me, "Never touch a Ouija board." Okay, and it stuck with me. It stuck with me. I think she believed in ghosts.
Now, was your mother of the craft?
Well, she was a lapsed Catholic, but yes, I think she definitely when she put me to bed at night, she'd tell me stories about.
Okay, for me, Ouija boards, I know that they're the gateways, and that's a power I'm not ready to play with.
I know lots of witches that do. I think you've just got to know your stuff.
Keep trying.
I think I'm up with the chat. I can't see any new. I mean, yeah, my mum was old fashioned, very old fashioned. So, it's weird. I suppose it's like we were talking the other day about nursery rhymes, and I was saying that I think a lot of the nursery rhymes were part of the old way of sharing rituals and stuff. You've frozen on me again. I can't tell. Is everybody still with me in the chat? Can somebody just let me know if they can hear me or whether it's all gone?
Yeah, well, we're in. I'm there. Okay, so I just asked for people in the chat to let me know what their thoughts of the Ouija board are. Do you fear them? Do you use them? Have you used them and you'll never use them again? You brought it to summer camp. Okay, I'm trying to. Oh, here we go.
Wow, Jonathan.
That was brave.
I'd love to hear about that.
I myself, just hearing that there's a portal, I'm not experienced enough, I think, to be brave enough to open that kind of a portal.
No,
I have a portal in my house, or several portals, but that's for divine spirits. Now,
Yeah.
well, I've heard a lot of horror experiences with the Ouija board, so I won't even get one as a decoration and bring it in the house.
No, I know. It's not something, but we lived in a big old flat and it was very spooky, and things used to go missing and stuff. So I know there was stuff there, and I don't. The closest I came to doing anything like that was sitting with my friend with a candle, and I had a chimney breast in my bedroom, and it was going mental in the wind. Was massive. It was just going crazy. And I just said to my friend, look, we need to stop this because I've got to sleep in this bedroom and not. So, don't want to invite anything else in. Thanks.
Right. Well, when I was in high school, I got one, and my neighbor and I used it. And supposedly, I thought she was moving it. She said she wasn't, but nothing was making sense. And then we realized that it was a child that probably couldn't spell. But then I had a good friend who told me an experience that she had, and that scared me right there. And I gave it away.
Not something for me. So, but superstition.
So,
yeah, I think we had lots of amazing times and lots of. You moved it.
Yeah, it wasn't me. It had to be you. Yeah. So. Anyway.
I think that's amazing, Jonathan. I really do.
Okay, so superstitions, black cat. So I'm not sure where that origin came from, although the cat was associated with magic. So people are afraid of magic. And I heard if the cat crosses your path, it was bad luck. But if it was coming towards you, it was good luck. I would think the opposite in those days. If it was coming towards me, I would think it's coming after me.
Yeah, I think cats were a big deal, weren't they? I thought it was white cats. And again, I think it's regional.
Sure.
I think it depends where you are, and you get that regional thing going on.
Yeah.
So personally, I love cats. I don't care what color they are.
Right.
If they're coming towards me,
yeah.
It's like, I think a lot of people have a problem with I don't think witches have a problem with the number 13. I love 13.
That's the next superstition I was thinking of, 13. It was funny because I remember always saying, but I have good luck on the Friday to the 13th and have bad luck on the 14th. And then I read. Oh, go ahead.
Another one I heard that we did do was if you spilt salt, you had to pinch it 3 times over your left shoulder.
Oh, 3 times.
Keep the devil away.
That's what I've been doing wrong. I've only been 1 time. So. Or it gets into my eye. I don't.
Oh, bless you, Ginger. I love it. Yeah, go for it. Just throw it around.
That's all right. I just throw it up and go wherever it's supposed to go, it'll go there. It's the intentions, right?
Well, it's like you've got to believe in the devil, haven't you? So, and I don't. Hi, thank you.
It's an issue. She's also in London. Jackie's in England.
Are you, Jackie?
Yeah.
See, I'm really bad with names. I'm menopausal. Well, I'm kind of end of menopause, so I blame everything that I can't remember on the menopause. What did James Brown say? What? I'm lost. What does that mean?
Get on up. I don't know. Which saying did he have? I'm going to have to put my phone on mute here. So the black cat, I'm wondering if it came from, I believe at some point in their little wagon, horse-driven wagon, a cat ran in front, scared the horses, and then went off the road.
Good point.
And so I'm wondering, it has to come from something that has happened, somewhere along the lines. But
Get on up, Ginger.
that's what I just said. Get on up. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we to be fair, we didn't really have a lot of cats. Our mother had, before I came along, she had cats, and they were intimidated by the crows. They were actually bullied by the crows, and wouldn't go outside because of these crows. So there you go.
Wow.
If you hold your breath walking through a graveyard so you didn't get possessed, that's going to be a really quick sprint through the graveyard if you've got to hold your breath for the whole time.
Right. I forgot about that one. And
Never
no,
heard it. Never heard that one. Interestingly enough,
out.
our graveyard down here has got bay trees. When we talk in the UK, I mean the herbal bays. And they've got bay trees at the entrance because bay is for protection and stops the deceased coming out and following you home.
That is interesting.
I hope.
I love that. Well, I have American Indian heritage, and
oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, when I heard they welcome the 13 because there's 13 moons in a year.
Exactly.
So that's when I just validated that 13 is not a scary number; it's a blessing.
It's a beautiful, yeah. I love that. I didn't know that about you.
13th month of lunatics running around. You take your choice. You know?
That's a lovely heritage then that you've got.
Say that again.
That's a lovely heritage that you've got.
Yes, when I found out I had just a little bit of Indian in me, I just went all out. I used to when I started drawing faces, they would always, hey Tony, they would always come out looking like an Indian man. And so one day I'm like, I can't seem to not draw that. So I erased it to start over, but I could still see the image. And I'm like, okay, he's the Indian spirit. And then I drew a wolf for the, cunning wisdom, and then an owl in the tree for the wisdom, such. And then later in years, I found out that one of my guides was named Many Moons. And I was
lovely.
wondering if I was drawing him all that time.
Many Moons. A lovely name.
I love it.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. Really, that's such a nice. I had the most amazing dream about a Native American. I don't know what the right terminology is, but that's what I know them out. When many years ago, and I was asleep, and it was an afternoon, and I was running out into the garden, and out the back garden there was this amazing Native American on his horse, and he just picked me up and off we went. And I've never forgotten it. It was the only one I ever had, but I loved it so much.
Oh, wow. It's like one of those romance novels.
Oh, yeah. That's my idea, yeah.
Okay, well, what about the broken mirror? Bad luck. 7 years bad luck.
Yeah, that is a good one.
I never believed it. I've broken a couple mirrors, but it did cross my mind. I wonder if I will have. I looked that one up. The mirror is considered a reflection of your soul. And the belief was if you broke the mirror, you hurt your soul. And the 7 came from it takes 7 years for your cells to regenerate. So
yes, I've heard that.
Yeah. So and then to break that cycle, it is said to take that broken mirror and bury it under the full moon, and that's supposed to break that cycle.
Yeah. They also, I suppose, the mirror being sacred, certainly the dark mirrors, I would imagine that was looked after even more carefully if it's used for scrying. If you broke that, you're in trouble, aren't you?
Yeah, and that makes sense right there. That would be unfortunate.
And drove division by calling it unlucky and unholy. That's interesting. Uncivilized.
Yeah, I love it. Okay.
Huh?
She's good. She's my good researcher for me. She
Are
actually
you?
so I went on Amber's channel, Lavender Moon, you know Amber, and I was on her Paranormal Live, and I was talking about a spirit girl that's in my home, and we did a Paranormal Live. Well, it was paranormal. We did her live, but it was one of our first investigations of investigating a spirit energy. So that's where I got my idea from. And Ishi actually went on and she Googled the cemetery that's near my house. It's like a 5-minute walk. It's a family cemetery. She found, I was told by a medium that it was a little girl about the age of 7 or 8. And Ishi researched the manifest of this cemetery, and there was only one young person at that age. And so
wow.
Sally, if I remember correctly. And yeah, and then she found like a old family reunion type photo. And in that picture was a little girl who I've seen the spirit of this little girl by my bedside.
Have you?
I've seen her haircut and everything. And she was on my bedside just watching me sleep. And in this photo, which was found like 7 years later after that experience I had, and this little girl, I'm like, oh, that looks like her. And then when I zoomed in on the image, Giselle, it was me when I was about 7.
Oh, wow.
It was me. And I even forwarded it to my brother, and he's like, that's spooky.
Yeah.
And there was a woman behind her in the shadowish kind of, she's wearing something, hat maybe dark. And I zoomed in on her, and she looked exactly like my grandmother. So,
good heaven.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I'd love to have something like that. That kind of makes you go all goosebumpy. That's really crazy. How does that affect you then? When you've actually had that experience, how do you integrate that?
That is just all kinds of validation, because I've had so many things happen here in this home. But it makes you believe in past lives, because when we did this investigation, I came up with it that maybe she's attracted to me because I remind her of her mother. So when she brought that picture up, and someone else in the chat, and if I'm not mistaken, it might have been Tony here who came up with that maybe I am that little girl.
Oh,
yeah.
It's that, but because that then kind of then brings you into time. And my husband's a firm believer, and a lot of people are, that time, is this circle, and therefore have you kind of come round and, are you meeting yourself a bit? It's mind-blowing when you start thinking about things like that. You'd have to ask him to explain how, but I think a lot of witches...
We'll have him on another day.
There you are. He's only sat over there. There you go. Now you're in trouble. Come over and say hello.
Come on, Mr. Madwitch. Come on in.
Don't be so shy. He's not coming over. No, he's staying in the background.
He can tell his story another day.
But he used to get a piece of paper, and he used to, I don't know what he did with it. He stuck a pencil through it and basically said that was like time. And I know a lot of witches, genuinely, we are coming, the human race is coming around to understanding that time is not, that straight line. It's something else. So I think you came back on yourself. Past lives and ancestor work is intimately connected.
Wrong one. Sorry. Love you, Jackie. Sorry.
Mr. Giselle, they're calling you.
I called him Mr. Madwitch.
No, he's gone all shy. What's this say? Ladybug,
yes, I called her Ladybug. My little Ladybug. Oh, yes. Okay. So maybe I'll tell that story later because I want this to be about Giselle.
Oh no, you carry on. I'm more than happy to hear anything. It's lovely to be here. It's lovely to be in your company. So go for it.
So now there's a question: is this little girl the spirit girl from the cemetery? Because I was told this little girl does not belong to me, meaning she's not my ancestor or loved one. But I may have two little girls here. So I had a reading done a few weeks ago, and by this bone caster whom I'm going to have on my channel on the 15th. She's going to do live bone cast readings.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
So intriguing. So I will learn that. Yeah, I'm going to take a back seat and let her do the readings that night because I want everybody to experience that.
Oh, wow.
So she kept saying that there was a spirit guide that wants to work with me. And I was almost offended, thinking, you should know that I do work with my spirit guides. I didn't say that, but I'm like, and I paused for about 3 seconds. I'm like, but I work with my guides every day. I was offended. And so I later had a reading the next day. I completely forgot I booked a reading with a medium. I haven't had a mediumship reading in like 10 years.
No, and I haven't had one for many years.
Right. So my mother and grandmother came through. But along with them came through another spirit who wanted the floor. She wanted me to hurry up and ask my questions if I had any. She wanted the floor. She wanted me all to herself.
Oh, wow.
And who she was I had a miscarriage in my 20s. And I found out, has been one of my guides all these years. And that she's more present, that the medium said she has the presence like none I've ever heard of before. And she's so filled with love energy. And she's just, when you're feeling sad or anxiety, she asked, do you all of a sudden feel a sense of calm? And I said, I do. It's weird. I don't get anxious. I don't get worry. I don't, having too many anxieties anyway. And so I was driving on the way to work and I was replaying and I realized that's the spirit guide that I'll call her the Bones Lady was talking about. So we were united that night. And then I was thinking, I'm so thankful for her to bring calm and serenity to me. And another bell went off, serenity. Years ago, I went to, I love spirit fairs. The lady was helping me connect with guides. And she said, ask your guide their name. And before I can finish asking, the word serenity, I heard. And I said, this is not their name, but this is why they are here. And so it completed a triangle for me.
It also, and Tony was just saying that she watched Corrigan the Crone, who I love actually. I haven't, because I've literally been having dreadlocks all day. I haven't seen any of the videos, so she's obviously she just literally put it up on Witchbones. If it's Corrigan the Crone I'm thinking of in Australia, she's amazing. So she's got Witchbone tools. I'd be looking forward to seeing that all over the. I think that is, synchronicities are so important.
Yes.
And they can sometimes be very, very subtle if you're not paying attention.
Right.
I was shuffling the Hidden Realms the other day, and I don't know why, but a card popped into my head. It was now I can picture it. I'm just trying to remember if I can remember which one it is. But it was the Three of Wands. Anyway, I was shuffling and this picture this card came into my head, and I carried on, and I cut my cards like I do, and it was the card I got. And that was just really, that doesn't happen for me a lot, but that was really like, okay, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Jackie.
Yeah, I went and subscribed just now. I think too, as the veil thins, if we become more aware of those energies around us, we're just going to find so many more synchronicities happening, and to be aware of those is a gift within itself.
But you've got to put your tentacles out a little bit.
Yeah,
you know, you've got it.
I feel like my tentacles are.
My tentacles are coming out.
You've come into your tentacles.
Woo! Yeah,
she's aligned with her tentacles.
I look like Medusa. Let's be completely honest. No, I love what she's done, but that, you know, that is also another part of your if your craft is you start to get to a certain age where you've got to own especially as in witchcraft, you have to own yourself. You have to be, whatever you're creating is part of your craft.
Yes.
And the older you get, the more people will look to you for your, not necessarily your wisdom or your knowledge, but your age and your experience. And I think that's really important.
It is. And I found, you know, I've always believed I had gifts, but they didn't come into full fruition until my 40s.
Yeah. I'm as intuitive as a brick.
My later, there is.
Shut it down.
Yeah, just as we get older and we do become wiser, and those of us who are wallflowers have absorbed so.
Oh, don't go, Ginger. Not mid-sentence.
No. What's that?
I lost you. You froze on me. You were at the bit of wallflower. I've lost you again. I can't imagine Ginger as a wallflower, but what a pretty little wallflower. Has she frozen for anyone else, or is it just me?
That's what I get. That's what
there you are.
Oh, I have a demon story.
Oh,
devil story. Okay, so I lived in California. And I had a late night with my friend and her band. And, you know, I come home, my ears are ringing and stuff. So I went to bed about 2 a.m. And all of a sudden I'm having flashes of evil clowns popping up.
Whoa.
And I'm like, but I love clowns. Why are these evil looking at me? And then I remembered what my grandmother told me. You say, devil, I rebuke you in the name of the Lord. So I started saying, devil, I rebuke you in the name of the Lord. By the third time I said it, my bed started shaking. I'm like, oh my God, I've pissed off the devil. He's after me. And it was my first large California earthquake. It was just an earthquake.
Oh, but no.
I did it.
But I think that happens, doesn't it? You know, things do happen. And sometimes we've conditioned our brains to see things a certain way, and that's scary. When we don't really get earthquakes, so I can't say I could blame it on that. But wow, at least it was an earthquake, Ginger. Do you know what I mean? Is that their little poopy signs? You're pooping it. They're pooping themselves.
Oh, I love Mercury retrograde. So another superstition was the ladder, and I looked that one up, and it was about, they believed the ladder formed a trinity with the wall, the ladder, the ground, and if you passed through that, that was considered disrespectful.
Yeah. Oh, so my daughter wants to watch. It's Ginger Faye. If she just types in on YouTube Ginger Faye Tarot, it will come up as a live. Sorry, my daughter wants to watch.
Oh, that's wonderful. Tell her to hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, you've got to press the subscribe button if she's going to watch. You don't have to be subscribing. You just have to subscribe once you come in. going under ladders is a general superstition. I forget about that because I don't know if it's just me, Ginger, but I've kind of superstitions were around when I was younger. We talked about this briefly before, the especially in wartime, and my parents were in the war and they were obviously post-war, and the world seemed to tick differently then. And now, since we came digitalized, computerized, whatever, it feels as if superstitions kind of gone out the window in a way, other than witches.
I used to challenge these superstitions. It's so funny. What was I thinking? And thankfully, no harm ever came to me. But one time I opened up that umbrella in the I didn't do that on purpose, but I'm like, well, what do I do now? We'll close it back up. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe somebody got their eye poked out when somebody opened their umbrella or something. And in the old days, it used to be, they thought it was an omen of death for some reason.
Yes, actually, and to be fair, my mother was superstitious, but I think that can really hamper you. And I went through a stage where I did have OCDs after my mother passed, and mentally I had to work through them. And when I did, so now I'm probably not. I am superstitious, but I don't tell myself I'm superstitious. I do things in 3s and 5s, and so if I post on Instagram I've got to put a 3rd up.
Things in 3s. I think that's important.
Yes, don't put new. That's exactly. Yeah, see, I wondered how English these are. Don't put new.
I think it's funny when one internet
on the table. Yes, I've heard that.
What's that?
But why?
Oh, I've never heard that one.
Yeah, I think these are English ones, Ginger, to be honest. I think they're probably English. But Tony, do you know why? Because I don't. What have you done? Are you telling me there's? But it says Tony says they're unboxed. My husband was trying to prop up my laptop earlier, and he's gone and got a pair of brand new shoes in a box and put them on the table. Now you tell me that. Thank you. He's sleeping out on the patio tonight.
You said unboxed.
Yeah, unboxed.
Oh, well, I was saying when you cut out, I said, I'm afraid to put my new unboxed tarot deck on, setting it down on anything before I sage it.
Really? So do you do that with all your decks? When I got this in Glastonbury, I didn't sage it. I just edged it.
Well, okay, let's segue into rituals now with that. So when I get a new deck, I will open it up. And I will light some sage. And then I will say,
laptop, can you go and
how do I say it? I release all the energies of those who have touched this deck before me. So
But so just Ginger, do you allow other people when you're reading for them to hold your cards?
That was at one time. Well, I still do. I don't like them to shuffle them because I don't want them to ruin it. For me to get their energy, I do the shuffling. But when I'm ready to start pulling, I place it in their hand and have them put their hands on top of it to put their energy into it. Yeah. So I'll do that now. I don't like them shuffling my deck. I don't want any accidents to happen. I don't want them to bend my cards. So that's my way of skirting around that one. Right.
Do you get them? So after you've done a reading, you would cleanse them again then?
Yeah. Well, like today, I have these little selenite discs.
Oh, they're nice.
And selenite is
I like those.
Double. they charge and they clear energies. So
Yeah.
when I'm doing live readings, after each reading, I'll place the deck on top of that and then put a apophyllite on top of it to charge it. So, or
nice.
if I have sage available, but that doesn't burn the whole time during a live. So,
you have that problem too. I thought it was just me. So you get the little white sage bundles, and they don't stay alight. I'm like, they don't stay alight at all.
Hyperventilate trying to keep it lit.
I know. I tried growing my own white sage and failed miserably because it's not hot enough. So now I've made my own normal ones. Just with, I've got sage growing in abundance.
I did. I made my first homemade sage stick.
Oh look, that's gorgeous.
But it stinks.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, it smells like
cute.
white sage. So I need to find me some white sage. But
it gives you a headache. Wow. It's quite a strong, pungent scent, though. Maybe I'd try something like mugwort. I do use mugwort.
I've used
maybe
mugwort,
I've got loads of mugwort. It's growing like a weed in my garden.
Oh, here's my favorite scent. I love.
I was
so I use white sage to cleanse energies, but I use my Palo Santo to call in my divine team.
Oh, do you? Yeah. Oh, so is that a ritual?
Yes.
7 times. Do you know, I've fallen into a habit. Like I shuffle my cards 3 times and cut them 3 times before I pick a card.
I do something very similar. Yeah.
I think after a while you do.
I shuffle 3 times, and after I shuffle, I'll go 1, 2, 3. Shuffle again, 1, 2, 3. So I do that 3 times in a row.
I think 3s, 5s, and 7s and 9s are my. But I have to be careful that I don't go, past the. Otherwise, I'll be there forever. So I've never. I don't know why your sage didn't smell. Unless
it wasn't white sage. I think it has to be a particular sage. Mine was just.
No, my sage does. I think it's got to be really, really dry. But what I was trying to do first off was I dried it first and then tried to bundle it. Whereas now, as long as it's not got wet, I then will wrap it up. But I let it dry for quite a while before I burn it. So maybe put your sage in with rosemary and lavender, and then you might find that you don't get that horrible smell.
Well, there's the thing. People think only sage clears energy.
No,
but it's
rosemary.
So I just bought me a sage smudge stick with rosemary, and I haven't used it yet. So I can't wait to have that smell.
I've knocking on decks is one of the first things I learned when I was with tarot, is that you can knock on the deck 3 times. But interestingly enough, I mean, somebody, who was it, said that you don't need to shuffle it that much. You're going to get the cards that you're meant to get.
Right. And I agree with that.
I do too.
But I think, here's my thought. When we do rituals like that, I think that sets us into a meditative state. I think that's the art of shuffling and doing that, is it's putting you into a more receptive meditative.
It is and also I find I connect with decks better when I've done something to them. Right. So if I've edged them, or I might put some sandalwood cones in with them. So
the ones I use the most, I put a crystal in with them.
As well. I mean, if I haven't got this one's got a bag now, but weirdly enough, it still stays in the box. But that was the bag I made for it, but I keep it in the box in the bag, which is a bit weird. But but there's room in there to stuff herbs and crystals and stuff in there.
There you go. Yeah.
She just shuffles and goes.
So what is your ritual then before you do a reading? What do you start with? What do you do?
Well, I mean, I do draw every day. So and sometimes I think before I used to just grab my cards. Sometimes my ritual is I like to try and get an hour reading in bed before I actually get up. But
book
if I
reading
don't,
or tarot reading?
read both. Sometimes I'll read a book. I try to cram a few books in when I can, but when I go into my sacred space, I will light the candle, I will light incense. I keep it really simple. I'll wipe my hands in Florida water if I have some, and then because I think sometimes I do need to make that intention that I want to sit with my cards. Other times you can fling them in the bed or whatever you're doing. But I think it is nice that you have that time carved out of your day. And if you don't give yourself that time to sit with your cards, then don't bother to pull them, because you can pull one card, leave it on the side and look at it. But I don't get to do that every day. It just depends what I'm doing. But I think those are the times I often look back at the end of the day and go, oh yeah, that's what about you?
I think it makes the connection more deep, meaningful when you do a ritual. I do very similar. I will sit down, I would light my candles. If I do it at the end of the day, I will do sage first to get all that guck off me of the day. But if I do it in the morning, I light my candles. I will ground, and I'll ask to be connected with source energy, call in the guides and stuff. I'll do a lot more than that, but then I will light my Palo Santo as I'm calling in my guides.
That's lovely. I'm going to try that.
Yeah, it's just got the most beautiful aroma.
It does. It's very sweet, isn't it?
Yeah. But I hear through Jonathan actually once was saying it's being oversourced. Palo Santo.
But what's an alternative, Jonathan? Because I mean, I think somebody put pine needles down there, and I think that's a really good idea. And I wonder if you can
oversource
pine cones. I wonder how they would. Maybe
was it pine needles or pine cones?
Well, it said pine needles, pine needle branches, but I tell you what, I don't. It's not the same because it's not the wood. But when I'm using my mugwort, I often get the really thick stems, and I don't put those into my sticks. You could use those for burning, maybe. I don't know.
But, I say with anything, it's all with an intention, and whatever creates smoke. Let's burn a piece of paper, clear that energy.
Yeah, you are when you open your windows. And I try to open my windows once a week. You are doing that. You're clearing out old energies. Oh, I did hear, and this is a witchy superstition. Well, I say superstition, it's probably, I don't know what the right word for it is, but when you sweep your kitchen floor, don't sweep it out. You've got to sweep it up and take it out and recycle it in, put it out. Don't flick it out your door, because that's bad luck.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least that's what I read.
Right. I forgot about that one. Yeah. I knew there was something to do with a broom, but I couldn't figure out. Maybe if you're trying to sweep it out, that wind can just
bring it straight back
in. Get in your eyes.
It's you and your salt all over again.
Story there. So my grandmother had passed, unfortunately, just a couple weeks before my firstborn. And then when my secondborn turned a year, my mother passed away. And it's like, that's it. I'm not having any more children. But anyway, my grandmother's wish was to have her ashes poured out into the lake, which was illegal. And my mom wanted the mountains, which again was illegal. But since I
Mountains are
didn't
illegal.
and so which I didn't have a boat, we went up to the mountains. And so I found a spot where somebody else had done a little fire. And I thought they'll never know the difference between the ashes of the wood or the ashes of my ancestors.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
So I had ashes. I had my grandmother's ashes. And I start pouring them. And then, oh my, would go out right.
Bye, Ishi. I've lost Ginger again, so I'm not sure if it's just me. You there, Ginger?
Are we back?
There you are.
Can we see me?
What happened to the ashes?
Oh, well, so the ashes got into my eyes, and I'm just going, oh, I see dead people.
Oh, bless you. That's so sweet.
So I just ingested my grandmother is all I did. Oh, pop out and come back.
Oh, that is so sweet. Oh, bless your heart. That's so sweet.
I find humor, and actually I find humor in almost everything. I try to. And
I agree.
You know, we have our clairs, our clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience, clairaudience. I found a new clair, and I call
Come on, Ginger.
What? Clairgoofians. It's freezing. Well, let's wait for you to unfreeze. You there?
I'm here. I'm here. You were like, and I'm like, right, close your mouth. You don't want any dust in your mouth.
Yeah. So my new clair is clairgoofians, and it's just the clear goofiness that it's my inner child, and I
totally agree. I my sense of humor is been my saving over many years.
Yes.
I say it, if I can't laugh at myself, if there's one thing I think that is the most therapeutic is my ridiculousness.
It's true. It's true. I mean, it's what keeps us so young.
Dragon's blood. Yes, love dragon's blood.
Ooh.
Had to be off here for a bit. My class, I'm back now. Hi, Ellie. Dragons, I love. And you can use dragon's blood for ink as well.
Okay. So that's in powder form. Well, it's an incense as well now, right? Whether that's real, you know.
Who doesn't love a bit of dragon's blood? Mind you, when I put it on, it's like, because I love me my dragons.
Oh dear. Okay, so now we have Halloween, my favorite season. What about Halloween do you like?
What don't I like would be I think it's, I can remember when I was a young girl, I did the 12 o'clock looking in the mirror thing. Never saw anything.
Oh.
Been married 3 times, so I don't know what was going on there. I love it. I've got 2 pumpkins growing in my garden. I think for me, it's the start of the Witch's New Year. I love the darker nights. There's nothing I don't like about it, but I can't say that I do anything specific, actually. When my kids were young, we went trick-or-treating. We had Halloween parties, the whole lot. But now it's kind of, I just get my broom out, polish it off, you know.
Take it for a ride around the house a little bit.
Well, I've got a video on my channel called Pimp My Broom.
Oh,
when I got my broom years ago from Glastonbury, my husband did all the wood burning sigils onto it, and then we decorated it with feathers and charms, and it's called pimp my broom, and I'm broomstick, and I think I got a few weird people following me as a result.
Oh my God, that's funny. So one
This is
thing I
Halloween.
love, yeah,
Ah!
you go, girl.
My cackle is famous.
I love ghost stories. I love spooky stuff. I love haunted housing, and I don't know why, that just fascinates me. And
But do you not find more of the ghost stories seem to be attributed with the winter months? Halloween, I find it's more into the dark winter of December. Everybody seems to have a ghost story for Christmas Eve. I can remember The Woman in Black was on many years ago on Christmas Eve. It was like,
right,
weirdly, I don't know why, but that's what I kind of got used to. She's found it. That's old. That's very old.
that's Jackie. She can find anything. I
She's
love it.
amazing, isn't she? Bless her.
Well, I'm gonna have
What a
to.
lovely group of people you've had on this evening.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know. Like you
So
said, I love this group. Now I need to.
it's a night. Yeah,
All right.
you've got to have one, a
Say,
sense of humor, not take yourself too seriously, and you've got to pimp your broom.
you've got. I love it. Ah.
So what's Halloween for you, Ginger?
Oh my gosh, I lost us. Here we go.
I'm here.
So I'm on my little. Well, I had to go save it for later. Yeah, I just growing up, obviously it was about the trick-or-treating, and my mom was big on the horror story and book ghost stories, and I really got fascinated with ghosts in general for a couple years as a little girl. And there's haunting stories there, and I was just always so fascinated with. And I don't know what the attraction is. It's just the unknown, the mystery, the wonder of why spirits linger, why some pass. I don't know. I love how gothic. See, I turned from little country fairy to gothic fae at this time. And my
Nice
house
one,
gets
Ginger.
decorated like a little gothic tomb. I don't know. And
I love that.
Old castles. I've just always been drawn to this deep and mysterious energy that I have no idea. Maybe it's a past life thing. I don't know, but
I think castles are just the best. I mean, I must confess I haven't been to on a haunted location or done anything like that. I'm because I'd probably end up having an argument with a ghost about something because I'm that cantankerous old crone. But yeah, it does lend itself, but it seems to go on. I find it goes on, and Christmas Eve is definitely my kind of spooky ghost story night.
Right. Well, nowadays, all the horror movies, but I noticed last year they were going through the Christmas season too. They were on. So what I find really sad right now is I went to the store and they had in July, they had Halloween out, autumn out, and Christmas. And I was excited to see Halloween out, but last year when it came out so early, it took away part of the magic for me.
Did it? I grabbed my pumpkin. They had this gorgeous little and I'm like, I'm having that. I'm having that.
That was the exciting part, but getting to buy those, and that's what started me decorating earlier in the year. So I said, if they can have Christmas in July, I'm having Halloween in May or whatever. So
go for Sarah.
I just love that gothic whole. There's a romance to it. I can't describe it. There's just. I listen to like let's say, haunting music a lot. There's just something about it that calms me, that it's a romantic thing. That's a weird to think.
I think goth is very.
But I had something romantic.
I love your.
Oh yeah, I show pictures once in a while on my Facebook page.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, actually managing to get 2 pumpkins to grow in my garden this year, considering it was so hot, is just my pride and joy. I'm so proud of my pumpkins.
I love it.
They're only tiny, but they've just started to go orange, and I'm like, oh, look at you.
But white pumpkins are all the rage too, or are they green right now?
One was green, one was orange, and and hidden, believe it or not, this orange pumpkin was hidden under a massive chamomile, and that just tells you everything about my gardening, because it's as wild as I am. Everything just does its own thing, including my fox. Does its own thing. I've lost you, Ginger. I totally decorated the kitchen today. Oh, I hope we're going to see some really lovely pictures on Instagram then. Talking about that in another chat. I think most vampire movies. Well, it's weird. I don't know if Ginger's still with us, but I'm still here, so I'm just going to keep talking. I had read the Bram Stoker's Dracula years ago, and it was terrifying to me. And then it wasn't until years later I realized it was actually a romance and a love story. I think when it came out as a film, then I realized how amazing it was, and I've loved it ever since. So when one disappears, we are both gone. All right, okay, Ginger, I'm here. Ellie can still see me. You're back.
That's how connected we are. One goes, we both go. I go, you go. I go, we go. You go, we go.
I stopped doing Halloween decorations about 3 years ago. It stressed out the dog and the doorbell. Our house is very spooky looking, and nobody comes to my house. Nobody. I would probably, not. I don't have anything for Halloween. I don't. I mean, I don't have anything for kids knocking on the door, because nobody knocks on the door. Our first week, Manasvikan, they laughed at me saying they had sold out in August. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. So apparently, I don't know, Ginger. I'm still here when you disappear. But anyway, so have you got your decorations up now? Ginger,
I just started yesterday. I got to a point where I just came there to do some things. I'm getting ready to do a. Can you see me now?
I can.
Here I am. I can see me. Hello.
I can see you, Ginger.
Hi. Okay. So I'm getting ready to do a VR on oddities, so I have some of my decorations up here. But I think we're doing pretty good so far. So the old lore of Halloween, where I've heard so many different stories that the masks were to scare away the demons. Then the Christians thinking we are the demons. The lore of setting bonfires to keep away the bad little fairies. Fairies used to be the according to the people, anything bad happened, it was the fairies, and then it became the witches to keep the witches away.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. It's still the inner child. See, I have a son with autism. He's 24, but he keeps that childlike energy alive within me too, because he's still fascinated with Halloween, fascinated with Christmas. So I'm still Santa Claus.
That's really lovely, though. That's
we
so
keep
sweet.
magic alive of our childhood magic. He still
I think when my kids all grew up and left home, I kind of became I kind of became my own
otherwise
child
I
again.
think by now I'm not sure if I would still decorate. Well, I would still decorate. Taking turns. Oh,
knocking on other people. I never went trick or treating as a child. We didn't have it then.
Oh.
No.
When I lived in Scotland, so this was 1972, I was told that they don't say trick or treat. You have to say a poem. And
it's a Scottish thing then.
So I chose peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold, peas porridge in the pot day cold. Yeah. And we got pennies as well as candy. I loved it there.
Jonathan,
nowadays I want to just shut my lights out
holiday.
because it's not just your neighborhood kids coming.
The devil's holiday. Pray,
so many lores about that.
God, I think Scotland and Ireland are probably different again to England, to be fair. But yeah, we didn't
well,
go.
What's wrong with you? I'm just kidding. It's funny how different religions judge each other and misunderstand traditions and stuff like that. It cracks me up.
I haven't seen a guy, but before COVID, there were bonfires, and did you see any guys at when we went to the big events? The kids used to in England make the guys and sell them, like get pennies for them, but I haven't seen that for years, to be fair. I know.
And what is a guy then? Oh, a rag doll of Guy Fawkes. Okay.
It's a bit like a scarecrow, isn't it? Yeah. Mr. Madwitch over there looks a bit like Guy Fawkes. It's the pointy beard going on. Yeah, you do. You just need one of those hats. We won't come over, but Guy being a rag doll of God. I think it's like a bit like a scarecrow that they threw on the bonfire, but knock on the doors if you have a pumpkin outside. I did have pumpkins outside, but people don't come to my door. They're too scared.
Well, in my neighborhood anymore, it's not just our neighborhood kids. We have van loads of people that drop off their children, and I can't afford to feed the world. I can only afford to feed my my own neighborhood. So I will leave the light on just for a short while, enough to where I know my neighborhood children have gone through, and then I close it off. What?
I love what Jonathan's saying about she brought her Bible. No. Weirdly enough, you talk about people trick-or-treating, but at Christmas you used to get the carol singers, and 9 times out of 10 you'd get 2 scruffy boys that know half a carol line and they would expect to get paid.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
There we go.
Giselle, it's an hour and a half already. Yes. I can't believe how much time
it's gone. It's gone.
So do you have any rituals that you do for seasons to welcome in a new season?
Oh, I'm a very spontaneous witch. I do have rituals for the full moon and the dark moon, because I have Hecate for the dark moon and Isis for the full moon, but for actual seasons, no. At the moment, I suppose, to me, when I'm bringing in my herbs and I'm drying and binding them, and it's such a busy time trying to make sure you miss frosts and get all your plants in. It's a very productive time for a sort of green witch. I feel that that's the ritual. So I'm harvesting my herbs, I'm drying them, I'm preparing them, making incense or potpourri, and all of that is when I'm putting in my intentions and my, you know, my energies. So those are the rituals that each season I'll either be planting seeds or I'll be harvesting. So very mundane.
Yeah. Right. Well, no, because it's not, because we as people do rituals without realizing we're doing rituals, you know, like in the morning. To me, I realized it was a ritual when I would make my cup of tea. First of all, steeping that. I like loose leaf tea, so steeping that
that is a ritual. I was saying that today. That whole process of making tea in a teapot.
The whole process of making tea. And Ishi keeps telling me to get an electric pot, but there's something about the kettle on the stove too.
Yeah.
And then after you make that, I love honey. So that act of watching that honey go down and then stirring it in is very mesmerizing, you know. And then
you're in the moment, you're in the present.
In the moment. And then I take that teaspoon and pour in my cream that's still swirling. And so the cream is swirling down. And it's such a meditative process. I keep saying I want to open a tea house because coffee drinkers are too spastic. Tea people take time to enjoy a moment.
I have a cappuccino with coffee and chocolate sprinkles, and I often post on Instagram the shapes that they make in my coffee because they're fascinating, like sigils. Or so I stir it, and then while it's going, I put the sprinkles on, and you get different shapes in your coffee.
Oh, dude, chocolate sprinkle readings. That's our next live. Chocolate sprinkle readings, everyone.
What a good idea.
You can read anything. Throw down some asparagus and see what messages.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I've heard that. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I've actually heard that. Yes, you can.
Well, if they do tea leaves, coffee grounds, I think you could just do about anything.
Absolutely. Quite agree.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Anyways. All right. Well, it
has
some time, and it's late for you. It's not 9:30 for you.
We haven't even eaten
I've
yet.
so enjoyed this chat.
Thank you. I have too. So, I need to feed my husband before he will.
Right?
Oh, I absolutely. When you asked me, I felt so humbled and so thrilled to be able to join you and support your channel, because you know I've known you a long time, but we've never done this before. So this is wonderful. I'm over the moon. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to everybody who's been so kind and stayed.
Yeah. I mean, Giselle, you have such wonderful energy, and
Thank you.
I can't wait to learn a little earth witching from you. And also, Giselle is on again. Giselle is on again at the end of the month, the 29th, whatever Saturday is.
I'm hoping I'm meant to be at my daughter's for Halloween, so I might be there. So you might be surrounded by little witchlings.
Oh, that would be so fun.
That'd be crazy.
Tentatively, to do a Paranormal Live. If not, another time, maybe we can. If you think you're busy, we can.
I should be around. I'm hoping I will be, but you might find little witchlings.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We want to do a paranormal. Yeah, we want to do a paranormal investigation on something English haunting of some sort. So.
Oh wow! I'll get my husband involved because he has had loads of things.
That'd be awesome.
Hello, Debbie.
Okay. we'll figure it out. Either the last or the second to the last.
That'd be
But
lovely.
But
Thank
my
you.
paranormal investigation is year-long, so it's not just a Halloween thing. So at some point we'll get you in there. So everybody, I thank you so much for coming in tonight and hanging out with us. This has been a joy, and many, many blessings to you all. And I appreciate each and
Thanks,
every one of
guys.
you.
It's been wonderful. Thanks, Ginger. I really loved it. Thanks, guys, for being here.
Okay. Well, you hang on a moment, Giselle, and we'll say bye to everybody. And happy Halloween. And next week, October 7th, 7 p.m., very special live guest for Paranormal Investigation. I am so excited. And stay tuned. Bye, everyone. Many blessings.
Bye.
Bye.